What's up, film family? Welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name is Scott,
My name's Dion.
and today we're talking about Avatar, Fire, and Ash, the brand new space odyssey adventure, the third installment of James Cameron's trips to Pandora. We're going to be reacting to community thoughts. We're going to be entering the deep dive where we discuss our own thoughts and opinions on the movie. We're going to end the show with our Filmies, which is our award show where we have 6 awards for the movie. But very first and foremost, we always start with our general thoughts. General thoughts. Dion, what'd you think of Avatar, Fire, and Ash?
First of all, I gotta say the general thoughts thing I feel like works perfectly for this movie too. We probably could have mentioned that for Hurt Locker too, but especially with this, like the themes of this movie and everything is very much like
Quaritch.
Yeah, exactly.
Thoughts?
Exactly. Jake Sully. But no, I really liked it. Like I had a great experience. Like I got to see it in the IMAX 3D. I don't know if you got to. Did you get
same
to
thing.
that same kind of experience? Yeah, I feel like you got to with this kind of movie. And if you're even like a huge fan of like the 3D thing, like the way they crafted these movies together, that's the time you're gonna be like, you know what? Let me go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I love IMAX. So
yeah,
and the only way to see it in IMAX is 3D.
yeah.
So I was like, do I want to watch it in like a regular screen?
Yeah,
2D
right.
or like just go IMAX.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel. I don't think I've seen any of the Avatar movies actually. Like the very first one I saw in 3D, second one I did IMAX 3D, and this one I did IMAX 3D. So I've never actually seen any of them in theaters like in 2D.
Yeah, no, I think me too. I think
yeah. But what about you though? What were your thoughts?
I didn't like it. I found it I was very disappointed actually.
Okay.
But I am a fan of the first two. I think they get a lot of unnecessary hate online. I don't know. The film community hates these movies for whatever reason. We're gonna talk about it. I have a very strong point that I'm gonna make in the deep dive. But this one I found didn't really build on anything from the first two. Like there's some interesting stuff right at the start, but then it's really just the same as the second. It's just the same movie. And like the Fire Tribe doesn't really do anything different. Like in the first one, we get all the world building and it's a brand new planet and people and everything. And then we get the second one and they expand on it with the water and the whales and all this stuff. And then this one, the Fire Clan they're not really any different from the Flying People. I think James Cameron, I don't want to say he's out of ideas because I'm sure it was maybe just some choices that he made that didn't work for me, but I don't know. I was disappointed.
That's a fair point. And I have some more as we get into the deep dive. I have some more thoughts that I think I do align with on that. There is aspects of it that I did enjoy, which I feel like could have been they could have been fleshed out even further. Just like different new dynamics of like having that Fire and Ash tribe. Like I like the introduction of them. And like you're saying, there's probably some more stuff they could have done with them. And then even just like continuous, I think there was some extra world building. Again, it kind of very much felt like a continuation of Way of Water. Like when I initially heard the title Fire and Ash, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like Way of Water where we're just gonna shift to another tribe. We never really shift to another tribe. It's still like we were still with the Water tribe and the Fire Ash tribe like kind of came, but like it almost made you wonder like why did they even call it Fire and Ash? Because the Fire and Ash tribe were basically there as much as like the military was. It wasn't like a whole shift to them. It's like we kind of got them and then we're back to this thing. We're kind of good to them, but yeah, no, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. And I also had like one specific issue, kind of like with like the Colonel's character, which I want to get in more on later. But yeah, I'm curious to hear that.
Yeah, I think the Fire Tribe, I just don't think we got enough of them. Like there's hints of interesting things and we just don't know kind of where it comes from or what sets them apart, why they are the way they are. And yeah, it just didn't. And the story, like I said, I felt like I was just watching the second one again. I'm like, why are we even doing this? And I've heard James Cameron talk about, okay, for the fourth movie and the fifth movie, we're gonna go to different planets and we're gonna do this. I'm like, there's still a lot here on Pandora that I feel like could be explored, and you just chose not to.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get you.
We're gonna dive much deeper into that. Don't you worry, everybody. But we're gonna get into the family meeting.
Let's get into it.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we discuss community thoughts. And I asked the question on Instagram and Reddit, basically the same thing. Basically, just what what did you think of this movie? Because we're doing this a little bit late, a couple weeks later, so people have had the chance to see it. I'm sure not everybody, but
yeah.
I got 2 people to shout out. First on Instagram, that Black Rose, which is our boy Jamari, said he was a little disappointed with the lack of exploring of a new culture in depth. Still enjoyed though. So very similar to what I was saying, and kind of what you were saying too. But overall, you said you really liked it though, huh?
Well, I mean, it's funny because me and Jamari, and it's a little behind the scenes. When we were on your way to our house, we were kind of talking about it.
Oh,
so like, I heard him say that exact same thing. But I think he seemed like he liked it more than you said. You said you were like disappointed. He mostly was just like, I felt like it was a continuation. I wish they did this. But he seemed like he actually like liked it. You seemed like you didn't like it.
Yeah, I just the story was just kind of like pissing me off, to be honest. Like as we were just going through them, like, and we just, the things that keep happening were just the things that I've already seen before, and it just kept happening over and over. I'm like, why are we doing this? This is the same movie. Like it's you either, it's a continuation of number 2, but number 2 is already long enough. We have the same characters. You introduce like 2 new things, and then it's, anyways. I wasn't a fan.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And then we got Welby Reddit. Said, I wanted more Quaritch and Varang development. Very similar again. They were the best and more compelling aspect, but we drop all that for repeating the same, oh, someone got captured, let's rescue them loop. Which definitely happened in this movie, but I'm trying to think like the same thing. Does that even happen really?
Like someone getting captured?
Yeah, not that I can think of.
Just Spider doesn't get captured in the second one. I'm actually afraid. Who gets captured?
That's what I'm saying. Does anyone get captured?
I don't remember.
And I just rewatched the first one. I don't know if you've seen them in a while.
The first one I haven't seen. Did someone get captured in that?
Not really. No.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what they mean by that, but but as far as like the captured scene in this movie, I do have some points on that. I might as well jump into it right now.
Talking about Spider or talking about Jake?
Well, they both get captured.
Well, you said the captured part, so I don't know which one.
Well, that's the same part. They both get captured, but it's all one piece of the story. And basically, what pissed me off most about that was that nothing in the story changed. It's that they get captured, Neytiri comes to free them, and we get to see Neytiri kick some ass. We get to see her be a badass with the explosive arrows. That was actually pretty dope. Yeah, we get a cool fight. But then the scene ends with Jake and Spider flying out. And I was like, why did we even do this? Nothing in the story changed for this whole section.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, it's true. That I guess it just built up. It was just to move our characters, I guess, and to set up that this sequence, I guess. But yeah, there was no. I mean, there was the stakes of like it was like they were there. It's like you guys got captured, and we knew that at least with Jake, he was gonna end up getting killed, and then with Spider, they would continue to do experiments on him. But just like have them both be taken out at the same time, and then it's like, I don't know, it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean the scene itself I didn't hate because there was, like I said, there was a great action sequence in it. They get to tell us, I guess, that Spider has this whatever that's got injected into him by Eywa, so now he can breathe the air, and then so now they want him so they can study him and figure out how they can breathe the air. And then they all just leave, and they're in the exact same spot than when we started. So I was like, I feel like you could work an action sequence into anything. So you might as well work it into something where the story's at least advancing.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm kind of curious. Like, I mean, I don't know if you thought about it. Like, if you had to do something different with that, like, what would you have done? Like you said, you had the issue with them going in and then getting released. Like, what would have been your alternative for you that you would have?
Well, I mean, if you wanted to go the same way with the story, because basically I would have changed the story completely from that point. Like you have Varang who's there with Quaritch, right? Maybe we get a scene of her and Quaritch talking to each other, and she's kind of explaining why she is the way she is and what happened to her clan. Because James Cameron even mentioned, I was reading, he said, Varang is the leader of a people who have gone through an incredible hardship, and they're talking about, oh, Eywa has betrayed us. Like there is your God has no dominion here. Like they reject Eywa. Maybe show us that he just
like a flashback. You mean?
Yeah,
What
like she
kind of
could be
happened?
explaining it to Quaritch, and then we get a flashback of seeing
Mm,
their forest burn down or whatever happened. We don't. I don't even
yeah.
know. Right? He said they've gone through an incredible hardship. Why would you tell me that outside of the movie instead of showing it to me in the movie?
Well, I mean, she did say that they went through it.
Yeah,
So
but
like it's
what
not
is
like
it?
yeah, I get
Went
that's
through what?
fair. Yeah, no, that's true. Well they just talked about the fires that came through, and like they said they were waiting and nothing ever came, and so then she went and then she controlled the fire. So like that was kind of like the description of it, but they didn't want it to show it to us, I guess.
Yeah, which I thought was a mistake.
Yeah, just fair. I mean, they
Yeah.
do give us a lot of visuals in retrospect to the movie,
Yeah, I
but yeah,
mean,
they also could have gave us that.
that's what this movie does well is the visuals are great, and in
Yeah.
the first two, the world building is really great and the scale is phenomenal.
Hmm.
And this one, it still had a lot of big giant, like, flying, I don't want to say monsters, creatures, and
Yeah.
like the scale was great, the visuals were still great, but like the plot of the first two and this one has never been anything that special.
Yeah.
um it's the other stuff that really props it up, and
Hmm.
the world building that missed here was, so all you have left is scale and visuals. That's doesn't make for a great movie to me.
Yeah, that's fair. And to me, I like to even go more on your point about what they could have done differently with the like the capture scene. I was thinking like maybe what they could have done is have like the movie end there, like to have that be the climax instead of
Mm,
doing the kind of ship water fight again, because
yeah.
that's what really felt like. Did
Yeah.
they someone just switch on Way of Water again?
Yeah,
Like this
it's
is
the
the
same
exact same
thing.
fight. Even having Jake kind of struggling like on like to like stay over like a water. I'm like, not only is doing that, he's also mixing up Titanic in here. He's just let
Yeah.
me just throw it off. Let
True.
me just get in my past movies. Like I'm surprised he didn't do an alien thing. There probably was an alien thing in there too. Like he's just
I read that there was
combining all
just
his
a
movies.
I read there was just a little nod to it. It was Sigourney Weaver, her character in this Kiki. Is
Mhm.
that right? Kiki. She says like drop the gun bitch, or like that's a use a gun bitch, or like there's something that her
Okay, that
character
she
in
said
Alien
in
says. Yeah.
Alien. Yeah, yeah, that is like a classic line. I didn't catch it in this though. But if she
Yeah.
did say something like that, then yeah, 100%. Maybe there was a
Yeah.
Terminator thing in here. Like, he's just doing all the greatest hits.
Yeah.
He just like forget it.
Yeah, the final fight, yeah, you're right. It's the same place. It's
Yeah,
like it's at the Water Tribe with the same people. You got the people hunting the Tulkun. You got the Tulkuns fighting back. You got Jake fighting back. We even get the final Jake and Quaritch showdown. Exact same thing. Spiders there, just like the
yeah,
second one, and the same outcome. The same
yeah,
thing happens. It's all the same. I was like, why? Why is this happening? Then there's this vortex. This like as they're driving, as the RDA is like driving into the to start this hunt,
yeah,
they just kind of mention it. Hey, there's a vortex there, and it's gonna suck up our ship
yeah,
if we get too close. I was like, okay, you got to stay away from that. And then they're just fighting in it, and it only pulls up like the guns and metal. And I was
yeah.
like, what even is this? Like they just kind of say that it's there, but like what? We've never seen that before. We
Yeah.
spent 3 movies at Pandora. What is this?
And I thought I missed something. Like I didn't leave to go to the bathroom or nothing. Like I never like varied. I was just like, I was like, am I forgetting this from the last movie? Was this a plot point in the last movie? I was like, yeah, I just accepted it because I'm like, I'm already in a world where like they're talking to whales and stuff like that. I was like, I was like, I didn't mean like this doesn't make sense.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just wanted to know where it came from. I was just kind of confused.
Exact. Same with me.
Yeah.
I'm not like that's ridiculous. The vortexes that suck up metal don't exist because we're on Pandora. But
Yeah.
like, tell me where the hell it came from, what it does, like what it was. It Eywa? Did Eywa just spawn this in? I don't know.
It's a good
That was weird.
question.
Let's jump back to the start of the movie though. I thought this movie actually started pretty well. I thought the huge flying caravans at the start. Like I said, this movies are a spectacle of scale
Yeah.
and visuals and world building, and that's what we get at the start of this. Like we haven't seen these giant flying things before. That
Yeah.
was all new. We
No,
get a
sure.
big fight, like Varang and the Ash people come in. We haven't seen them before. So like, oh, there's an aggressive group of Navi. Like, why are they fighting their own people? They don't
Mhm.
normally do that. She's lighting fire. There's like a suicide bomber. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
all
That was
this
wild.
stuff. That was crazy. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to know more about these people, right?
Mhm.
Like I see this, I'm like, why are they like this? Like
Yeah.
we've never seen anyone this radical on this planet before. We haven't seen this happening. They're chasing the kids in the forest, and then she like attaches her hair tail people, and is like dominating them with that. Like, we never seen this stuff before. That stuff was great.
No, for sure. I know, I 100% agree. And that goes to the point of like, wanting more. And it's like, I felt like almost in a good way, but it's like that fine line of it's a good way and a bad way of like, they made these fire people cool, and like I wanted to know more about them. And it's like, you kind of do want that to be like, oh, I want more of this. So then it makes you want to come to the next movie. But at the same time, you still wanted a little bit more of backstory, because they came in so hot. And you're like, okay, I need to know more about these people. And you assume you're gonna get it because you're already locked into a 3-hour runtime.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But they came in hot. I forgot about the suicide bomber thing, where I was like, oh snap, like
I was not ready for that. Intense. I didn't. And so they come in hot. They've been marketed as like the bad guys, like the antagonists of this movie. So they come in right away, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be our villain. We're going to learn. In every other movie, like, you got to learn both sides, like their motivations. Like, I don't know her motivation. She's like, okay, she rejects Eywa because something happened, but why does that mean she's fighting
her own people?
Na'vi? The other, they didn't do anything to her, right? So like, I was really excited after this scene because I was expecting that I'm going to get that. And they really grabbed me with this, with the new stuff that they were doing. And like when they burn down the big blimps or whatever that's flying, and then the big flying animals being pulled down, and he's trying to fight out, like, all this stuff is new and fresh. And then we get a fight of the kids like running through the forest, they're being captured. I did there is one thing though about at the forest that upset me, I guess, a little bit, is like, I felt like there should have been more threats from like animals that come into play, because like I said, I just rewatched the first one, and the first time Jake gets into his avatar body and goes outside of the base, he gets chased by like these big ass rhinos. Then there's this killer like panther type animal that comes to try to kill him, which separates him from the group, so he's got to spend a night alone. There's wild dogs trying to kill him. Like the whole forest is coming at him the first time. The kids here are just like, they're sleeping on the ground, they're chilling, they're walking around, swimming through water, and like there's just no threat. There's no animals anywhere. Like I thought that could throw a wrench in the plans and really like get the movie going.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there's not much like we get the big whales and stuff like that, and then obviously the creatures that they fly in, but like that's the only really like animal presence that we get. That's a good point. That would have been a good addition to have that, to add some more like moments of tension where it's like we can't rest, like like we gotta sleep in shifts or something, and then something should happen when someone's doing a shift with like, oh god, we gotta get out of here. So like there's constant, like we gotta worry about them, we gotta worry about the colonel, we gotta worry about the ash people, like just constant, like I shouldn't say chaos, but just constant like not being able to be at ease.
Yeah, and I mean, I just felt like it was so important to this world before. And I guess like if I could give myself some pushback, it's like, okay, these people were born and raised here, so they understand, how to live in this world, how to avoid certain plants that animals like to eat, or whatever, that like you can kind of just like justify the fact that they aren't being chased by animals or whatever. But I mean, the Fire Clan seems like they don't live in this area, and it just seemed like it was such a big part of this world that there's just creatures and threats everywhere, that for it to disappear at the start of this movie, I didn't really like.
Yeah, and I get what you mean, because like I'll also agree with the fact that because they grew up in it, they would know. They'd be kind of be like, oh, we shouldn't go in this forest because that's where blah 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 is. But like they were in this forest not by choice though, so that could have been the thing of like, oh snap, like we don't have a choice. This is that where like the deadly panthers are, but like we got to be here because like we got to run. So then that could have been like a threat, because like they have to be in this forest. It's not like they chose to be. So that goes to your point of like adding that extra element of a threat.
Overall, though, I will say I enjoyed like this part of the movie where they're being chased, they're running through the forest, almost because I was waiting for something like that to happen.
Yeah,
for like an animal to pop up, or for something that I don't know of. Because that's what these movies do, is there's a whole new planet, right? We know 2 movies worth of stuff now, but tons of other things that could pop up, and didn't get that. But I liked seeing like the fire people kind of grouping around the fire. Another thing that might have attracted an animal, by the way. And then they capture them. The way they get out was kind of cool. She like connects to Eywa and uses a plant to like shoot needles at them. That was kind of cool.
No, that was dope. And another aspect that I really liked too was just that new dynamic with the Colonel now. Like he got the most change of character, like a character arc in this movie, of like him with the fire people and with Van Rag, and like the whole thing of like, oh, show me show me how to make thunder, and like that whole introduction, which is kind of like obviously James Cameron pulling from like real world stuff of just like when weapons were introduced to like native people of lands and to get into weapons and stuff like that. And just interesting just to see this evolution, because like everyone's using bows and arrows like in this world and stuff like that. So like, oh, what happens if we give the most reckless tribe the most lethal weapons, and like let's see how we can do it. So like I was intrigued on like, oh, what's gonna happen now, and like what is this gonna be, and just kind of seeing how like the Colonel has always been kind of like opposed to this world, but like he's like, I feel like I can work with these people because like to get at Jake, like it's interesting to see like his morals kind of change. I mean, he is a clone, but so that is always an element that's kind of interesting with this character now too.
Yeah, that is a good point. Like, because he's always been humans first, so to see him kind of connect with Varang and the Ash people, I wonder if that was more him like, okay, I can use these people, so to have more of an army so I can get Jake, or is it actually like, okay, I actually like, I see you.
He
sees these people because they're aggressive and mean, and like that's what he is, right? So is it maybe a bit of both, but or maybe it's when he went and saw Varang, and he's got his protections, he's got the sniper with him and stuff, but he's like, no, I connect with, these are my kind of people. Like I can actually see myself being part of this tribe, because he is part of the tribe. Well, I wouldn't say he's fully part of the tribe, but like you see him, he paints himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say dressing him. That killed me, honestly. When he just pulled up in the paint, I was like, "Damn, he's locked in, man." He's wearing the team jersey and everything. It's like, damn, all right, you're already in it.
The cheeks changed him. Well, I mean, if she connected her tail to his, and like, I don't think she can control people. She's kind of like, I don't know exactly what it is. It seems like she just kind of like dominates them or whatever.
Yeah,
so maybe
and she drugged them.
Yeah,
she doubled up on it too.
True.
But the one thing I found interesting about that too, and this is kind of what one of the things that I did enjoy about the movie, is just like that conflict with even the Colonel within himself too, because it's an interesting character, because like the Colonel as we know it like is dead, right? This is a clone, right? And this clone never turns into the human form. It's not like he goes back and forth. He is only like Na'vi. So it's like one of these weird things where like him also caring for Spider, where it's like, yeah, you're my son, but it's like, but even Spider says like, my dad's dead, you're not my father. So it's like, it's this thing, it's like, it's almost want to call it a thing, because it's so confusing. It's like, he knows I'm a clone. That's the son of the guy that I'm cloned. I'm supposed to be a human, but my clone is a Na'vi. So like, am I Na'vi? Am I human?
Yeah,
it's weird. It's an interesting conflict that you can tell he's like kind of balancing back and forth. Like, what am I?
yeah, that is a good point, because I mean, his brain and consciousness and memories and everything was transferred into this body. So in theory, it's like he knows he's a clone, and you're right, the body's different, but it's still like, if I took your brain and put in, so like you still are yourself, you have the same feelings and the same memories and everything, so you would still have that love for your son. But he doesn't have that love for you, because, well, partly because of who you are, and you guys have very big differences. But it is weird. It is weird, and it is complex, which adds to it. But at the same time, like, I think he helps Jake and like the Na'vi when he's trying to save Spider, because he loves Spider, but he's also fighting against them. So like it makes it interesting, but like every time he comes in and helps, I'm always like, I know he's gonna help, but then I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. but complex at the same time. It's just a lot. It's weird.
Well, that's the reason I like it, because every time he's on screen, I don't know what he's gonna do. Like, I don't know if he's like, is he flipping or like, no, he's almost like, I'm not saying he's the same level of character, but he's like, it's like a Batman and Joker kind of situation here, where it's just like, I'm against you. Okay, this time, well, I guess the Joker never really is like, I'll be on your. It's more like a Loki and Thor. That's a better example.
Yeah,
it's like a Loki and Thor kind of thing, where it's like, okay, like, you're my brother, like, but you kind of turned on us, like, I'm gonna go bad, but it's like, oh, it's my brother at the same time. And it's like, these guys did have a bond at one point, but then like one guy's views changed on the way, like, what we should do with like this Pandora and all that stuff. And it to me, it's just a fascinating concept of him, like, because he has, it's because it's weird to like be a clone and know you're a clone. Yeah. And then also be trapped in their skin. It's like he's saying, let's like, you took my brain and then put it in like a white person's body, and I have all these black people memories, but like, I'm walking the world as like a white person. So it's like, that's so confusing, because no one's gonna treat me like, to a certain extent. It's like, you're a clone, you're a Navi. You're like, you're not actually that guy. You're just a clone. It's just like, and he can think for himself. So then it's just like, all his actions, he's just like, what am I even loyal to? Like, what am I even doing? Like, I'm not even a real person. It's weird to have to, for, I'm imagining, for him to exist and know that he's not an actual being.
Yeah, that is, you're right. All that stuff is very interesting. I wish kind of maybe we got a moment of him thinking that or saying it out loud. Like, I guess the beauty of the subtlety is that it's there, worked into the character, so we can discuss it. Yeah. And maybe we don't even have to get a moment of him, so he can like say it out loud. Maybe that is worse, actually, just because I hate that in movies too, when they're like, say things too much. But at the same time, if it's him, if he's not saying, okay, I battled with this and I determined that this is what I want to do. But if we just even see him like struggling to make decisions, doesn't know what to do, because he seems like he's always like, I'm going this direction. I'm always going to save Spider. I'm always going to go against Jake. But I will say I did enjoy the narrative of Jake trying to change him a little bit. Yeah. Of him being like, dude, you're in this Navi body. You can't go back. You're living in this world. You're with the Fire Clan. Like, open your eyes and see what this world truly is. And it seemed like it was kind of starting to work a little bit. Like, he was starting to change. Like we said, he has the body paint of the clan and everything. But then ultimately he's still working for the humans. But I will say that aspect I enjoyed. I thought maybe he was actually going to change.
Oh, I mean, he did give them pushback though, because they even like with like the I forget the name of the woman that was ranking over her.
The general, I think she's
the general. Yeah, and like there was a lot of pushback there. So like I feel like even that he was kind of thinking about it. I was like, hey, do I really want to keep listening to her? I'm like, I can do whatever I want. And like, I don't even know if he really does he even fear death? Because I wonder if he thinks they'll just reclone me or something. I don't know. That's never really discussed. Like, if this body goes, don't worry, we're gonna put you in another one, and we're just gonna and will he have the memories of the last clone? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think that's true. But I mean, the way he yeeted himself off of the rock at the very end, like, I don't really think he fears death. But I mean, the pushback with the general, to me anyways, I saw that more as like, because she's trying to shut him down, right? She's like, your mission's over. Like, you tried to go get him and it didn't work. Like, you're grounded. Yeah. And he's like, no, screw that. Like, I'm going to go get him. So to me, the pushback was more about that and less so about like Navi culture and respecting that.
Yeah. Well, I just mean pushback in the sense of like, he's not like, he goes to the beat of his own drum in the sense like nobody controls him. Yeah. Like Jake can't tell him what to do. The colonel can't tell him what to, or the general, sorry, can't tell him what to do. So that's why I always found his character interesting. Like, whenever we were getting scenes with him, I'd be like, I don't know where this guy's going in this scene. Like, I didn't even expect it. Like, when Jake was like, oh, let me go save Spider. Like, I'm like, does he still care about Spider? And he kept, and like you said, throughout the movie, he kept showing, okay, he does care about him. But it's just such an interesting thing to me because I'm just like, why? You know you're a clone. So it's like, he doesn't accept you. Like, it's crazy how, like, I guess those memories that he knows just got put there are like still holding on to him. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, even though your physical body is different and like cloned, but you still have the feeling. So you still feel like that is it's not your physical son,
Yeah.
like biologically, but it is because you are that person. You're a clone of that person, but you're that person still. Like in his head, he is Quaritch. He doesn't introduce himself, hey, I'm Quaritch's clone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like he
not
is
true.
He is Quaritch. So that still is his son. Like if you were cloned, like you said, if I took your brain and put it in someone else, like you'd still love your brothers and sisters, right?
No, it's true. I just think is that was that specific character though is just a different it's just an interesting dynamic with him.
It is. I think like as you bring all that stuff up, I think the complexity of his character is maybe one of the best in the movie. Now I think about it, because like character has been something that this movie I think is these movies have done decent. I think like it's not a lot that we haven't seen before. I mean, this isn't something we haven't seen before, like a clone with a son and not like, but for the most part, like someone that has a motivation, is given orders, and then goes into those people, like goes undercover, realizes that these people are great and I don't want to actually cross them. The Fast and Furious is a great example of that.
True.
Take a shot. But so that stuff is all we've kind of seen before, but like the more we talk about Quaritch, like you're right. There's a lot of complexity there. He's probably the best character in the series. You can't kill him off.
No, that and another character that I also thought was pretty interesting. Like I like when like Kiri's character, just because she's this element, like this supernatural element that like we always get new things get introduced. Like I like the stuff with Spider, and I thought that scene was also just really like visually like awesome. Just like her like find like that stuff like slowly like spreading onto his body and like kind of glowing, and like this is gonna be able to let him breathe. So like I thought that element of her was interesting. And then even Neytiri, like the conflict that she goes through, which is like a conflict that is at its most intense in this movie. Like obviously there was like she kind of goes through it from what I remember in the first and the second one, a bit of just like obviously not liking humans, but your husband is like half, you know, he's half breed and the kind of thing, and like your kids are now a product of that. So like their hands are different and all these things, but she hates Spider so much. But he's like, your kids are half that. Like you got to get over that. And like she's so angry in this movie and wants to just get rid of Spider at so many elements, so many parts in this movie, and she's so angry.
She is very angry, and I mean, but I think that's kind of where she's always at. I don't think there's a ton of complexity in that, which isn't necessarily always about. Not every character has to be this deep well of differences, but I do think like her hating humans and hating Spider, the whole reason they want to move him and everything, and then we get the scene where Jake is gonna kill him, and I thought I was actually a good scene, like a will he or won't he kind of thing, even though I never thought he was actually going to do it. I was like, there's no way he's going to do this. But
especially Jake. Maybe somebody else.
Like if it was Neytiri, she could have done it. But I don't know, just the way these movies are, I was like, there's no way he's going to do this. But I wanted him to. Think about it. That changes everything. That changes everything in this movie. It definitely wouldn't end the same way as the second one. Like, because when the kids find out, so now Jake and Neytiri have to fight them too. Like, what? You killed Spider? That's our family. You talk about everything is about family. You killing our own family, and then Quaritch finds out. So the only thing that's kind of holding him back, right? We talked about like he's fighting with the humans, but he's also helping Jake because Spider's around. So if he kills Spider, now Quaritch is just a loose dog. And that just throws a wrench in the whole movie. I really wanted him to.
But the tough thing with that is, and like I agree, just because the element of like surprise and stuff like that, but I don't know if that makes sense story wise, because then suddenly the kids and Quaritch are aligned, and now Jake is our bad guy. Like I don't know if that makes sense, because he's supposed to be our shining light throughout the whole series, and now suddenly he's killing a kid, and his kids are mad at him for it, and then the Colonel's also mad at him for it, and now the kids and the Quaritch are aligned, so now are they the good guys, and Jake actually is the bad guy now.
See, but I think the kids, they'd be aligned in that one thing, but everything else they still wouldn't be aligned. Like the kids in Quaritch, I mean. So I think it creates kind of three separate groups where you have the kids that are like the good guys, let's say, they're fighting for not killing Tolkien and keeping your family together, fighting Jake and Neytiri for killing a kid. And then you have Quaritch, who's doesn't mind that they're killing whales and everything like that. Now wants to kill Jake as well. So like you have like this Venn diagram of 3 different groups, and they're all kind of fighting each other. That creates so much conflict in a story that has been very linear and predictable, because it's the same thing as the second one. If they do that, the whole movie's different.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just think, and I'm not agreeing that wouldn't be interesting. I just, based off what you said, why you didn't expect to happen, because based off these movies, I just don't think it would make sense in this world. Like if this was a more mature story, then yeah, we could do that. But the way these movies are marketed and the way it's spread out to it's too much of like a family movie, where it's just like it'd be so confusing to have a character like that and to try to make sense of like that the guy that we're supposed to believe is our main good guy would do something like that. And then with the kids, it's just like I don't know if you could go, because then also I imagine that the colonel would be like, and like the military would take advantage of that and be like, you see this is why I've been trying to catch your dad, because he's a bad guy. I feel like you could play on that a little bit, but then I just don't know how they'd ever come back. Like, how do you reconcile?
But isn't that interesting? Like having that, like,
no, I'm like, that's what I'm saying.
Having see, this is why I'm going after your dad. He's doing it for the humans the whole time. Yeah, he says he's protecting you, but he's just out for himself. And you make a good point about like these movies are for kids as well. So how do you really explain that to a kid? And like that, it's just not the way these movies have gone.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said like I didn't expect it to happen at all.
Yeah.
They did a decent job of building up the tension. They took their time. You know, he's walking him out, and then Spider slowly starts to realize what's happening. And then he's like, "Oh, just make it quick," or like, "Do you still love me?" And you know, like that. So they built up the emotion and the tension. But at the end of the day, like I knew it wasn't gonna happen. But like, you don't want that from your movie. Like, yeah, you're right. It's a movie for kids, but damn it, I don't want it to be.
I think the way it could have worked in the context of these movies is either like the wife did it, and then there'd be like this conflict where it's just like, don't tell the kids. So there'd be like this underlying secret that would come out later, because like we're already primed to know that she doesn't like him. Or if Jake did it by accident, and then it would be like, oh man, like, you know, like he throws something, someone moves out of the way, and then like that classic thing, someone catches a bullet type thing. And then maybe there would be like the inkling second of just like the thought of, did you try to save him though, Dad? Right. And then maybe he didn't. Like I was about to spoil a show, but that something like this happened. I think you know what show I'm talking about, where someone sees someone dying. It's like, could I save them? And then he decides not to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he could have had one of those moments. But I mean, that guy ends up not really turning into a nice guy. You still cheer for him because you're following with the beginning. But I think it could have been along those lines of like, oh, so this happened to Sparta. I'm like, did you try to save him? And then that would have been like a thought that we would ask, and he would think about like, did I really try? Did he really try? Like, maybe that could have worked.
Or you have it like, because this whole scene when Neytiri's rescuing them, none of the kids are there, right? Yeah. So like, it could happen in that scene where you're right, Jake is trying to kill someone else and they dodge it, and Spider gets hit with an arrow or something, and maybe he does try to save him, and it just doesn't work, right? So, but then like, because they're in this RDA base and like there's a video, let's say, right? And then so Quaritch then shows it to the kids and is like, look, your dad actually killed Spider. And he goes, no, it was an accident. And they're like, oh, is it an accident? Or maybe Neytiri. Maybe it's Neytiri.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is it an accident? You're the one that says like he's not part of this family, and you know you hate humans. And you never miss with a bow. There's no way this was an accident. And then because then it's not them just murdering a kid. It is an accident, but they don't think it's an accident, so you get the same conflict.
Look at us. We're writing another Avatar.
Look at us, man.
I even have another level that could have goes with it, where we just get the whole freaking classic like dance movie switch, where it's just like, then the son that's ready, like conflicting with Jake, could be like, you know what, you should join us. And then we just see him like gear up, and now he's on their side. He's like, yeah, your dad. Remember, he's like, he's always on you because you don't have your comms. Here, we got a comm for you. Put a comm around his neck. I can be your new dad. You're like your brother died. It wasn't your fault. That's not how we do it here. It's never anyone's fault. Like, just really bring him in, and now suddenly the sun's on the other side.
This would be such a better movie. I told you, bro. They need to kill Spider. This movie would have been so much better if they killed Spider.
I do like Spider though. I think he's a fun element of the movie. Everything we just said, I think would have made the movie probably could have made the movie better. But I don't know if problem with Spider overall.
Clone him, bring him back.
Just clone. So we'll cut this whole thing out of the podcast so we can do our little spin-off of Avatar.
Yeah.
We'll do what the boys and all those other guys do, where they basically make the Justice League but just change the names. We'll do that with Avatar.
Yeah. That's a great idea. We only need 2 movies of setup before we actually make a change, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Okay, Quaritch. So when Quaritch goes to the Fire Clan, him and Varang get freaky in the tent. But then this was the scene where I was really expecting to learn more about this clan, and I was very excited for it. But they're more or less the same as the Tree Clan. Like, they fly the Ikron. They can ride. I guess we never see them riding horses and stuff, but like they don't look any different. Their bodies aren't any different. Like the water people, they have like a tail. They have a different tail, and like they have these flaps on their arms so they can swim better. Like, these people didn't adapt to the fire at all. Like, I thought, what's the difference here? I was hoping to see some extra world building for the clan in this scene, and it just kind of like is Quaritch and Varang getting together and building their alliance.
Yeah, which I like their alliance building. Like, I liked all the scenes where they're together because, again, it was a different dynamic that we haven't got with the Colonel and really got in this movie, where it was kind of it was like a sexier aspect to a movie. As we're saying, it's a kids movie, but it definitely got spicy in this movie.
Yeah, we never see them get too crazy. We just kind of see them like wake up lying in bed together, so like we understand what happened, but they don't actually show it.
Yeah,
so they don't need to.
No, yeah, they don't. Then they got to up the rating.
Yeah,
but I guess the different dynamic that we do get from them, because like obviously you saw the first movie. These got more recently than me, sorry, and I think they probably eat meat more. Like, they're more savage in this, because she's talking about, like, I don't know if she would actually eat someone's heart, but I feel like they're actually more open to cannibalism than the other tribes. Like, the other tribes, I think, lean more to eating like plants and stuff like that, or eating like fruits and vegetables, all those things. They don't really get too much into eating in this movie. It's like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. No. We don't need to see them eat, but I feel like they're more open to actually like eating people from just like way they've been acting and stuff like that.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, even the way we see them cut their tails off, they're like, the Na'vi people say that's worse than death, right? Like, you're disconnecting them from Eywa, or I think that's what it is. But so the fact that they're doing that, you're probably right that they're more open to cannibalism. But I mean, we're just making assumptions here. Like, you could put that in the movie. Yeah. Maybe not cannibalism, because like we're saying, if you don't want to kill a kid, you probably don't want to introduce cannibalism. But you can, if they're the bad guys of your movie, show us why they're bad, or like show us what they do that's really bad. Like, I don't know. I just wanted more.
Yeah, maybe just like having them, because I feel like you could do the thing of like, like having someone like they're like a rotisserie, like over a fire and then get saved. So like, no, but like they were about to do it, but someone saves them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like a crisp body over a fire.
No. I mean like the setup of like having them like they're about to be rotisserie, and like it's like, oh, we're gonna have like, he's like, you're gonna be good for us. Like, we're gonna eat for weeks or something, and then someone saves them. So you'd be like, oh damn, they were gonna eat that person. That's what they're capable of, but don't actually have to show it. I feel like you get away with that in like a PG.
100% you could have. Yeah. And that's what I mean. That would have been something that we learn about this tribe that we're just guessing. We don't learn anything about this tribe. Are they cannibals? I don't know.
Yeah. That's a fair point. And that's one of the, I said I had one issue, but I actually had 2 issues. And this this kind of goes to like a 28 days or 28 buns later kind of thing too, where it's like, I don't like the fact that we know there's a 5-story arc to these movies, because then I feel like it becomes this thing where you get too reliant on, and I'm sure this is going to happen with the Ash people. Maybe we'll learn more about them in the 4th movie, but it's just like, just tell me more about them now. Like, you just introduced them. Like, let me get ingratiated them. And yes, leave some mystery. You got to leave some aspects where it's just like, I want to know more about these people. Like, I don't want to leave the theater being like, I got everything from everybody. I don't know where they're gonna go from this. Like, you need some excitement about like, oh man, I want more of blank, whatever it is. And I do want more of them, but I still feel like there was more that they could have shown, and then leave one aspect of like, well, I want to know about that thing, like going forward. And with this one, that's like that. Yeah, that's just my issue with like knowing that they have like this 5. Even when they made 2 and like, oh, our plans to make 5 of them, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, I have them each come out, and if one's successful, guess what? We're making another one. Like, surprise me. I don't just want to know, because then I'm just thinking about like, oh, that's the reason you didn't do this, because you already have like a 5-story arc coming out. Like, I don't know that I don't like that aspect of it.
And to me, the reason it's so weird is because they didn't do that at all with the second one.
Yeah,
we got tons of the water people. We learned all about them, and it was great. I'm not saying the movie was fantastic. The movie I think was good. I think the first one's the best one in my opinion, but we learned a lot about them and the different animals that they ride and the whales that they talk to and the way that they live on these, like, on the reef. They have these floating, I guess they're not floating, but they're like strung up bridges across their houses and stuff. Like, all that stuff is really cool. The fire people are just like intense in this like wasteland, and they mentioned the fire, like the volcano erupted, like burned down all their stuff, and Eywa never came to save them. And I mentioned, maybe getting a flashback of that would be really cool, which I still think is true. But like, if you want to leave a little bit more meat on the bone for a future movie, you could introduce an aspect, like a conspiracy almost, let's say, like, of like, oh, you could have saved the forest, like the leader Varang, maybe Varang's father or grandfather, or I guess it was her when the thing erupted. So Varang, like, she could have stopped it from getting worse, or she could have saved the clan. She had an opportunity to do something, and she intentionally like cut off Eywa or something so that she could be in control of these people. You know what I mean? Like, introduce a layer of, did she do something like that? And then maybe we learn that later on in another movie, but like, we still have to learn about these people.
Yeah, no, it's true. And even with the Eywa thing, it's kind of like a funny thing. Like, that's a good element to have, because otherwise throughout this movie, it really just feels like Eywa is just chilling, Eywa's not doing nothing. Like,
until Kiri calls her.
Yeah. And then and like, there's a lot of pushback too, like when she's trying to get her out the movie, and then she keeps pushing her away. And like, it is kind of a funny thing to think about, like these Ash people being like, oh, Eywa never came, like Eywa didn't help. And everyone's always like, did Eywa help anybody? Like, this kind of aspect of it. And it's interesting because like, in this movie, it's not introduced as Eywa being like this mystical thing that like some people believe in, some people don't believe in. Like, it's actually clearly a being that actually exists, and people are able to talk to people in the afterlife. So it's just like, this is a real thing. So it makes me think, I'm like, so what does Eywa do? What is Eywa actually? She's literally just chilling, like, and she decides like, I guess I can help, because she literally is all like powerful, like she can do things. So I wonder, it just makes me wonder why she decides to help in these situations and not.
That is a good point. And maybe we could have learned the answer to that in a flashback when the volcano erupts and the forest starts burning down. And like I said, maybe we'll find out in the 4th movie that it's true. Varang messed it up and cut off Eywa.
Maybe.
And that's why, like, because they would have had their own tree of souls or whatever it is, right? The water people have it underwater, and the tree people had the big tree that they connect to with Eywa. And it's true that it's not like, okay, some people believe it, some people don't. Like, this is a fact. Like, we know that Eywa exists. And they even mentioned in the movie, like, Eywa doesn't pick sides. She only works on the balance of life.
Yeah.
So when all of the forest is burning down and fire people are dying, that isn't the balance of life. Like, why didn't you help them in that scenario? Like, if you're not picking sides, if Eywa's not like, oh, these are bad people, I'm not going to help. So how did it happen?
Yeah.
Show us, James Cameron, please.
and I wonder, like, in that aspect of she doesn't pick sides, like, does that include humans too? Like, should you not pick sides against the humans? Like, that's not part of this world. That's like an outside thing. So should you not choose the side of the people of the land? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you would, because the Na'vi are within Eywa. There's no humans in there. Well, there's now, but there wasn't to begin with. And even comparatively speaking, there's like, what, billions of Na'vi in there, and 2 humans.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Um, and then there's one more thing I wanted to mention on the spider kill scene. I guess that we were talking about because we
Okay.
started talking about with like Neytiri and her character. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't love the flip that she had at the end. Like,
What do
while
you mean?
Jake is taking
Okay.
him further and further into the forest, and we know what he's gonna do, and Spider's like slowly realizing what's happening, and Neytiri's back at the water, and then she starts like washing her face, and like the red paint comes off, and she sees it's like blood on like Spider's blood on your
Yeah.
hands. I was like, it's a little much, and then that's the thing that she's like, no, we can't do it. When like the whole first act of this movie is like, I hate humans. I hate them. I hate them. We got to get rid of them. Like, maybe it's when he got captured, you thought he might be dead. So that kind of changes things. Like, oh, I thought I'd never see you again. And maybe that kind of flips something. But I don't know. I thought it was a little convenient.
Yeah, I feel like what have made that scene better is if she got like little flashbacks of just knowing how much her kids love him. Like all like just a little flashback of all this laughter and like the kids playing and stuff like that, and her thinking like, man, can I really go back, look my kids in the face again, and like would like that whole thing where we're kind of talking about that dynamic of like, man, like really think of the kids. Like, you think the kids are gonna be okay with this? Like, you're already kind of somewhat at odds with them a little bit with like the oldest son, and it's like this might be like our breaking point. Like, I don't know, I gotta maybe think this through a little more.
Yeah, true. And I mean, the son, like Loak, his whole thing about he goes to the beat of his own drum too. Like he still listens to orders, but then like when it comes down to it and in the heat of battle, he's going to do whatever he thinks he should do.
Yeah.
And I didn't love that as much in this movie just because it's the same thing that we saw in the second one.
Yeah.
And it never, like the end of the second one was Jake being like, I see you. And like we've kind of made amends for our differences. But then all that goes out the window for this movie. Like, I thought you guys had kind of
came
made
to terms
up for
with
that. I mean, there was a big moment of him like considering suicide. Didn't expect to see that.
Yeah, me neither. And again, especially like you're saying, kids movie, PG-13 movie, but it is. I didn't expect to see that either. And also to add to your point about repeating things, that is such a like I don't think overall there's a lot of like everything was repeated in the movie, but there's just like these glaring aspects of or like arcs in this movie where it's like we talked about the final battle, and his whole arc in this movie, like I like literally did not care about at all. Like I just had no, like he went through the same thing of like gutting close to like the whales and stuff like that, and there was almost like that identical scene basically where like he's escaping them, and this time it was just different shaped animals doing the exact same thing and going in these little tunnels and them slowly getting them. Like, this is the exact same thing. I remember in the first movie I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is almost like a Jaws kind of escape thing. I'm like, this is cool to have like that kind of creature underwater element. But she's like, okay, we've already seen this. He's doing the same stuff again. Now he's got like the other kids with him. But I was just like, I just don't really care. It feels like the same thing.
Yeah, you're totally right. Him like, no, you can't. PyCon is a good Tolkien. You know, they say they don't kill, but he killed someone to save me, and like we did this exact same thing a movie ago. And one thing from that like chase, I guess, underwater that like didn't piss me off, but it's something I thought of was like he's on this the like the seal, the whatever it is that he's swimming with, and then these like killer squid things come to like fight him, and they're running away, and he jumps off of that seal to go under, like hide in these rocks, and that thing just gets obliterated. And then the end of the scene is like, oh, it's good, Loic safe, we made it. I was like, that thing just got rinsed and nobody gives a crap. Like, oh man,
that's so
nobody feels bad for this guy. Like he got connected through the brain tail of this Navi and was like, okay, I'm following orders. Like but it's like more of a partnership to me anyways. It feels like the animals and the Navi,
no, for sure,
whenever they connect to each other. So like when he just ditches them to get eaten alive, I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, no, that's pretty savage. That's a good point. I almost forgot about that, to be honest, but it's a very good point. He didn't care about that dude for whatever reason. You know, I don't know.
And then so the Tolkien, when they all come in and they have this conference or whatever where they're talking to the leaders of the water tribe, and they're like, should we come help you even though you're trying to help us, because they're all going to come trying to hunt all of our people and kill everybody. I thought it was pretty cool. Like visually, the whale standing up in the water was sick. Like then when they start doing their like whale calls that they communicate with, and the water's like rippling beside them, like all that stuff was so sick.
No, I 100% agree. It's just, I honestly think this movie could be a lot better if you like some of the changes we said, but like I feel like James is like locked in, or I'll call him Jim because he's a friend of mine. He's Canadian, Bob, so I'll call him Jim. But he's so locked into making these 3-hour movies, but there's certain elements of these movies that could have been cut. Like it didn't need to be a 3-hour movie. It didn't feel like, because I felt like the last one, just like, we really want you to be immersed in this world, get immersed. It's like, okay, now we've got 2 movies, we've got 6 hours, we're immersed. Now let's get into some things. But she's like, this movie's like, let's immerse you some more. I'm like, no. We already know the deal with the whales. They're getting hunted. We got a whole section of that for like their juices, whatever. It'll help humans out. It's just like we're getting a more of that. I'm like, okay, we get that. You know what I mean? Like with the water people and stuff, like in the conflict there, I was like, we already got a whole thing of conflict with them in the last movie, and then like integrating, like, let's focus on the fire and ash people. That's new. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, we got a lot of the same people from like all the other elements of the different movies. I was like, we know these people. We know how they think. We know how they feel. And everyone's kind of feeling the exact same way. The whales flipped a little bit at the end, but it was just like, you just gave us so much of that stuff, and it didn't really change much. A lot of those people stayed the exact same. Like I want more of the people that we don't know. I want to know how they feel, how they act.
Yeah, basically you're doing the right things. You're just doing it in the wrong area. Like you take the world building and you're right, the immersiveness, like taking your time and like really sweeping through where people live and how they swim and how they eat and how they hunt, and like all that stuff is sick. We get a ton of it in the first movie because it's a brand new planet. We don't know anything about it, and it's awesome. And we get a bunch of it in the second movie with the whales and the new animals and the way they live. Everything's different. And we could get this with the Ash people, and they introduce them, and we get it for that first fight. Like I said, the suicide bomber and her tail, and and then we just get more water people, more Loak, more of the same things that we've already, the whales. Like we already did all this. Why are we just doing it again? Like this, you introduced something new and then just went back to doing the same thing. So like what these movies do so well, let me get into I don't want to say a rant, but this is I have a strong opinion about this movie series, because the movie snobs despise Avatar. I see so many people say these movies are a chore to watch, and like, first of all, if it's that bad, don't watch them.
Yeah.
But this franchise, I think, gets so much unnecessary hate. Is the plot anything special? No, it's not. It's not anything we haven't seen before. But these movies are a spectacle of world building, scale, and visuals. There's so much more to movies than just plot, right?
Yeah.
Like in the first one, they have to climb these massive floating mountains to find a pterodactyl that will try to kill you, and you have to bond by connecting your hair tail and then have this first ride. Like, that is awesome. Yeah. When have you ever seen that before, ever? And then in the second one, the intelligent whales that are part of their society and they bond with as well, and they have their own rules and their own way of life. Like, that stuff is new and fresh, and the world building and the scale, everything's so massive. When we see the giant caravan flying, like, this stuff is a sight to behold, and it's all adds to the experience of the movie. That is on top of the plot. All that stuff is great. They go away from this movie, so that's why I didn't like it as much. But
yeah,
I think this franchise gets way too much hate than it deserves.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. And I also think it just happens to be like a lot of that really comes down to like, if you ask these people what their favorite movies are, they're probably movies that just don't get as much talked about. So they just get angry that a movie, like any skeptical movie, they feel this way. Those people probably hate Marvel movies. They hate probably maybe they hate the Dune movies. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, oh, like this movie was way better. Like, it's the same kind of movie, but like nobody knows about it. It's just like, I think that's what it really comes down to. They just hate popular things. Usually these people. So it's just like, you kind of just shrug your shoulders, and it's just like, dude, like, you don't go to the movie, like you said, you don't go to the movies for every single reason. Like, certain movies, like I always talk about that with like musicals, and some musicals are good, some musicals are bad, and the same thing with comedies where people, I'll never understand why some people be like, we'll watch like a parody movie or like a slapstick movie, and they're like, oh, that movie's garbage, like 4 out of 10. I'm like, all the movie was meant to do was just make you laugh. Like, it's not really about the plot. You know, there's no twists and turns that expect to happen. It's just like they're just doing things, going for the laughs. That's all it is. It's all going for the laughs. Some movies are just like that. It's like, oh, it was so predictable. I'm like, it wasn't trying to be unpredictable. It was just trying to make you laugh. It was just trying to make you, feel these different things. And these movies aren't like, hey, this is gonna be like one of the all-time stories. Like, get ready for that. It's like that's not even how they market it. You watch the trailers. They never even say that.
And that's why I don't get why, like, nobody's doing this with a Fast and Furious movie. Like,
oh yeah,
are those the plots don't even make sense to those movies? Who cares? We're watching people blow up cars and like drift and like do all this cool stuff, and that's what makes the movie cool. And nobody hates on it for that. It's just sometimes you just want to sit and watch a cool movie. Why can't you just sit down and watch like a brand new planet and brand new people and the way that they live and the way that they hunt, and like that stuff is sick.
Yeah, 100%. Because like you said, it's like the actual story beats are not like these new takes, or like you're not waiting for like these crazy twists in those aspects, but like you're just like, hey, what they're doing is 100% original. Like these blue people, like the way they live their lives, like every time you're seeing something, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, oh, that's how they do that. Oh, okay, that's how they do that. Like that's what the movie's all about. It's that's how they do that. And like, oh my god, this looks crazy. Like a part of you has to. And I remember I tapped my sisters, and like they actually really enjoy these movies. I think they like the last one a little more, but we go into it and like we already know, like, let's just focus on the visuals. And like we're turning, like, man, it looks so, like, if you could just do that, like, man, like it looks like this texture on the dude's face just looks like it's a human standing there. I know there's a dude with dots on his face, and like the visuals and like the texture, like when they're touching the creatures, I'm like, oh man, that looks insane. Like people don't appreciate, I mean, I think they do, but you almost forget how good the special effects are in these movies. It's absolutely insane. It doesn't look like, no one ever says, CGI is like, because there's a lot of movies people are like, oh man, CGI is it's hard to watch. Like it's top of the top, the visuals in this movie.
And the one thing that I will give pushback to my own point is that if what's so great about these movies is visuals, scale, world building, all that stuff, does it have to be like 3 hours and 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Because that is just like overbloated story. So like, and like I said, I didn't really enjoy this movie. So I'm not saying like these movies are perfect. Are they the best movies ever? No. But the hate that it gets is just insane. People are like, oh, that's insufferable. How do people even talk about this? It's ridiculous. I think your popularity point is true. People just like want to be different. So they hate whatever is too mainstream. I hate that people say too mainstream.
Yeah.
Something's good, it's good. But like, these movies have so much more to offer than just plot, but then maybe they should be sure. I mean, I think these movies are built on like moments. Like if you think of the first one, like I said, when he goes to bond with his first Ekron, like to me, that's a moment that I remember when I think of that movie. Or him when he becomes Taruk Makto, I think is what it's called, where he gets like the really, really big one.
Yeah.
Like that's a moment when he's like flying above him and he like skydives on top of, like, that is sick. That is a moment that I won't forget. This movie, I guess the spider kill scene is kind of that moment that I'll think of, but other than that, there wasn't much.
I think the moments I'll remember is the Colonel getting drugged up.
Okay.
I'll definitely remember that moment. The initial of the Fire Tribe, like the kamikaze freaking moment when we first see them. Spider getting like the slow like vines like being put on him so then he's be able to breathe. I think that's another moment I'm gonna remember. And then like you said, like the kill scene. Those were pretty memorable. They're memorable with me. And I also want to jump in and say my point. Like I had 2 points about kind of issues with it, and I guess it kind of ties into the story arc of it being 5 movies. But the Colonel dying, we see him jump off. Dead. Exactly. No, and that's kind of my issue with it. But at the same time, it's one of these things where like I don't want him to be dead because to me I think he's the most interesting character. Like I think Varag would make a good villain, but there wasn't enough of it to be like, okay, now we're done with the Colonel. Now you're the main villain. There's like, I don't think I could accept that. I like them as a pairing, and I would not want the military to be the main villain without the Colonel because like no one else is that interesting on anyone where I'd be like, I don't want this guy to die, but I just don't like this messing with us of like teasing. Oh yeah, like he's done because he already did that. Like he's dead. We cloned him. And then in the last one, it's just like, okay, well, we're going to see him again. And this one they did again, I'm like, he's not dead. I already know there's 2 more movies. Like, you're not going to do it in the third. He's built up way too much lore in this world for it to be him to be done. It'd be in a 5th if the movie or if that's a novel, because he said that's an opportunity that's going to be. But
he's too important to the story. He's too important to these movies. And if you're going to kill him, there's no way it would just be like a 5-second shot of him jumping off a rock and like floating. It's going to be a massive scene. He's going to get his whole scene, his whole arc whenever that happens.
100%. Like the dude that got pulled underwater, like the guy that was like the classic like whale hunter.
Oh,
and like
he
when he died, I was like, this is going to be a big one because this guy's been a prick for the last 2 movies. And you're not going to have him just like being off screen, like, oh, we all just fell in the water. Like he got grabbed and they pulled him to the bottom of the water where it's like, yeah, he's done.
And he's not even anywhere near as important as Quaritch. Exactly. So he's going to get even more.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that guy, every time, because like, this is the same fight, right? So they're trying to hunt whales and everyone's fighting against them. And the whales come and kill a bunch of people. The water tribe comes in, they kill a bunch of people. And every time I'm seeing so many like ships blow up and people dying, I'm like, how many of these guys are left? And then you like every time like the dust settles and there's still like 100 boats, and I'm just like, where are all these things coming from? Because I'm seeing these massive ships just blow up, and it seems like you showed up with 10 of them, and I swear I saw 8 of them explode, and you still have 12 of them left now. You have more than you even showed up with, but that guy's always there. He's always still alive, and I'm like, this guy, man.
No, yeah,
he's just a survivor, but there's no way he survived that.
Oh, 100%. And I was like, holy plot armor. Like, this guy has to die in this moment. Because at this point, there's so many of these whales and they're going after every ship. And I'm like, okay, I get it. If they're going to kill him, it's going to be last. But it was just kind of comical just to see like all the ships around him. He's like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. I'm like, don't worry. Yours is going to be last, dude. You're the big honcho. So you're going to get it last. And I was like, and he better get it. I don't want to see some shit where like he jumps off the boat and he like lands on a paddle or something. And he's like, that was a close one. Like, are you kidding me? No, dude, that's it. Like he's already lost an arm. Like this is enough, man.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they had to get that guy. I mean, he's evil. Like there's some of the humans are like a little more, have some redemption, redeemable qualities. I mean, even Quaritch, like we said, like he helps out the Na'vi people. He begins to be integrated with them a little bit. This guy is just straight up like, there's money. I want money.
Basically, 100%. Yeah.
Did you have anything else before we get to the Filmies? You have one more point, you said?
No, that was it. Actually, my point on Coleridge, the Colonel. That was my last point.
Yeah, he's not dead. There's no way he's dead.
He's definitely not dead.
All right, time for the Filmies. Then
let's get into the Filmies. Yes, it's that time of the show. It's time for the Filmies. And if you're new to the show, this is a part of the show where me and Scott give out 6 awards to the movie we just watched. And if we both give out the award to the same person, it's deemed as certified. So we'll see. Last week we got one. It was kind of an impromptu certified, which That's is right. Yeah. But with that being said, the first award we have is our Ferris Bueller Award, aka our Lazy Award. This is an award that we give out to anybody. It could be writer, director, someone in the movie, someone that's behind the scenes, something that is usually just something in jest. It's not something that will actually ruin the movie. Sorry, but we want something that we want to point out. So I'm curious to see who got your Ferris Bueller Award.
I give it to the RDA scientists, I guess.
Okay.
So Spider gets captured. And Quaritch comes in. They have this scene. You know, I brought you a burger. and you're really my son, and I love you, and blah blah blah. So he takes his dog tags,
Yeah.
and he unscrews the vent, and he gets out, and he just runs down the hall and escapes the building, the lab, and there's not a soul in there. This guy is the key to getting y'all to be able to breathe here and colonize the planet, which is the whole reason why you're here, right? You need all that you can. There's money to be made here. This one guy can get you to do that, and there's not a soul watching him. He unscrews the thing and just walks out. That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Lazy.
No, I 100% agree. It's funny because I have a very similar Ferris Bueller, but I gave it to a different person. So I don't know if that even counts as being certified, but I'll say it. But I gave it to James Cameron for the writing of Spider's Escape.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that even counts, but like to me, it's just like all the things you just said. This guy's supposed to be very important. We're like doing all these tests for everything. Like this guy's gonna help us be able to breathe. And James Cameron's like, okay, how do we get this dude to escape? Okay, he's gonna screw out. He's going to run out, and then he's going to be dressed up in a thing later on, just like in a crowd, where it's like, there's a white dude with dreads. No one else looks like that on base. It's not even like he tucked them away. He's just out there with his dreads out, and he's just walking through. Everyone knows what this guy looks like because it's the big, oh, snap, that's the guy. Everybody knows what this guy looks like. It doesn't blend in.
The one pushback I'll give you for that portion is that when he comes out and he's in like his construction uniform, is kind of when Neytiri shows up, starts blowing things up. Jake starts to escape. So like, there's just a whole bunch of chaos going on. So maybe people aren't noticing that. But like, I don't know. He just walks out the door.
Yeah, that's the main issue. It's just like, I was like, where is everybody? Not a soul. There's no cameras.
Not even a camera. Yeah, I was like, how is nobody seeing this on camera and raise the alarms or nothing? Like, what's crazy?
Like all I need to see is like the classic thing of like the security guy, like, you know, he's reading a book or something, not paying attention, look at his phone, and then he just you see Spider run across, and it's like, oh, that's why no one saw, because the guy watching him's not paying attention. It's like
he's like a Navi Playboy or
exactly
something.
Yeah, he's just like looking at Van Rag or something. Like, damn, you guys see this new shorty you pulled through? Maybe we're thinking differently about them, but nah, none of that. Just escaped, nothing.
Crazy.
So I don't know. Is that certified? Crazy. We gave it to, I guess not.
You know what? I'm certifying it.
Okay.
That's a certified lazy award too. I mean, I gave it to the people like in the movie, but like James Cameron's the one that is writing the people in the movie. So at the end of the day, it does fall on him. So that's lazy writing.
We used to give more what's it called? More lazy awards to the writers.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're just like, let me just give it to the character. But like in this sense, it just felt right to give it to James or Jim.
Yeah. No, you're right. You are right.
Old Jim, but
because sometimes it is the character themselves, where it's not something like egregious in the writing. Like the character is meant to make a mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it makes sense from a writing perspective, but the character is still being lazy. But in this sense, like it doesn't make sense that they would make this mistake. This should not happen.
Exactly. It's just way too important. But anyway, that was certified. Almost another impromptu certified.
Hey, we make the rules.
It's becoming a staple on the show now. The next award we have, self-explanatory, is fit check. So what was your favorite fit from the movie?
I give it to Varang.
Okay.
And I included her Ikron in this because it just looks sick, dude. Like her black and white Ikron, it has like almost long feathers like at the end of its wings. All the other ones, it's just like a bat, let's say, where it's like its skin or whatever is the wings. This one had like, I'm guessing it's still skin, but like they're almost like long fingers, like feathers. It just looks sick. And her red headpiece, she just looks cool.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's funny. I also gave it to Varang too. And the Na'vi, like, they don't really wear clothes. So at first I was like, I feel weird saying that, like, they're giving it to her. But like her look was so distinct. Like, you know, like she had like obviously the red paint like on the face, on the body, on the arms. And like you said, the feathered like headdress was really cool. So like she had like this unique look. Everyone else, and even like the blue, like the Water Tribe, like they had like everyone had kind of like different looks, but they're all like just like very blue. Her just having like the red element on her just made her so distinct, and it was just like such a different vibe when she came through. And I also wrote like, I didn't think we'd have Na'vi baddies, but here I am, and we have a Na'vi baddie. New sexy cosplay just dropped, yo.
The Varang cosplay.
Cosplay.
You don't think Neytiri's a baddie?
Yeah, she is. But now I've saw 2 movies of her, so this is
fair.
like it's like the new. It's like, oh snap, we're changing it up.
Yeah, Neytiri. She was she gets an honorable mention for my fit check. It's one that I wrote down. I ended up giving to Varang, but she before the final fight, she gets her war paint. It's like green and yellow and stuff on her face. And we even get like a whole moment of her and Jake like walking in slow mo, and then all the are like flying behind them and everything. So like she looks pretty dope.
No, it is dope. But hey, certified.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Podcast is in danger. If we get all 6, the podcast is
done. Avatar will do it for us.
Damn, that'd be brutal. That'd be a tough way to go on a movie I didn't even like.
yeah, exactly. Damn. But next one we have another self-explanatory one is favorite quote. So who gets your favorite quote from the movie?
I gave it's kind of just a dumb, silly one, but it made me laugh. It was my biggest laugh in the movie. I mean, this dialogue isn't really the strength of these movies, so like I wasn't gonna pick something super deep. So I gave it to an unnamed soldier, and it's when Neytiri's rescuing Jake. She's just walking through the base, and he hits her with a "What's up, cutie?" and she goes like just mad at him. And then, I didn't expect him to double down because he goes, "She wants me." Like I just did not expect the second time for him to say it again. It's so stupid, but I did not expect him to like, "Yeah, she wants me."
No, that was good.
That made me laugh.
No, that's a good one. Again, there's the dialogues of the strength of these movies in the sense like there's not a lot of quippy things, but like there's so many lines, and that's one that I almost forgot about because I saw this movie a week ago or in a bit. But as you reminded me, that part was so hilarious, and all the hissing stuff was hilarious to me. Like that brings me back to another hissing moment where it's I forget the woman from the water tribe where she's like fixing her up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's just like, and she's like going really strong. She's like, "You're so stubborn." And she's like, "Hey, don't like you better. You're lucky that I don't forget that you're with child." And they both just hiss at each other.
Yeah.
I got a big laugh in the theater. I don't know, like it made me laugh, but everyone was just dying. I'm like, this is pretty funny. It's getting real catty right now.
That is another thing that I forgot of is just like the fact that she even just gave birth to the kid. So now they have another kid in the thing. Another like obviously like something that'll be moving forward in the next movies.
Yeah.
But did that really do anything for you? Did that add much?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Because maybe the kid's gonna mean something. I hope so. Otherwise, just like it's the pregnancy just for pregnancy.
I feel like anytime a kid is born, and especially if they're born from like from a position of royalty, let's say like this woman was like the leader of the tribe's wife.
Yeah.
They're always like the chosen one, like the strongest
true.
whatever. So this baby is probably like Jesus.
Are we getting a time jump?
I have no idea.
I assume that we probably will because sorry, I'm dying over here. These last 2 movies were shot back to back. And I don't know about 4. Like, I don't know if there was a break or like they're starting to shoot it now. Like, I don't know if you saw anything about that. But
I heard it's in production, but I don't know if they're shooting.
Because they're all so much older now. Like Jack Champion, like he's like a tall like man now. Like Scooter's not a kid anymore. Even the people that play the kids, like again, it's animation, so I mean you can have them look however you want. But like their voices are like kind of changed and stuff like that. You can have them change their voice a little bit. But it's got like Spider, for example. That's his human body. So I feel like you kind of have to do a time jump. Yeah. Everyone's got to age up because Spider is like the real man, Jack Champion. Like he's tall now, not as tall as a Navi, but
I mean, I guess I have no idea where they're going with the story, so I can't really say if a time jump would make sense or not, narrative wise. But I feel like based on the way this movie ended, because you had like Varang's still alive, she just kind of like ran away.
Yeah.
When Kiri like overpowered her with her tail hair thing.
Yeah.
Like we said, Korch is probably not dead.
Yeah.
So they would maybe take a minute to like find each other again, come back together, regroup, rebuild their army, and then start to fight back. But is the RDA like their fleet is toast? Like their water fleet. I mean, there's still probably mining. Like that city's still there. I mean, Neytiri did some damage. Like the arrows with the rockets on the end, that stuff was pretty cool.
No, that was dope.
I could see a time jump happening.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, even though obviously I mixed feelings on it, but I feel like I'll probably still end up watching the fourth one if it happens. Yeah. If it happens, just see how it goes. And
I mean, this movie's already made $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's gonna make $2 billion like the first two.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But it's still just a money machine.
Yeah, 100%. As far as my quote, I gave it to Sully, aka Jake, and again, it was hard. It was kind of hard for me to find a quote. I was just trying to think of like things I remember, and there was some funny lines. Someone was like, it's whatever." But I just went with something where he was just like, and it was Jake when he said, "You can't live like this can't live like this baby in hate." And to me, it was just I picked that quote just because it's just the conflicts. It's just attached to the conflict of like really. Because that was majority of what Neytiri's character was in this movie. It was a lot of just like living in that hate and just being angry, and that was my quote. Just because I thought it really emphasized the conflict between the two of them and what was going on with the kids and Jake and everything. So
yeah, I thought about that one too. That's definitely one that I remember as well. And just because that's right at the start of the movie, so it's kind of setting up her motivation for this movie. I mean, we know her character, but she's going through different things in the different movies. So for this one, that's what and that's what leads to Spider joining a caravan, and like the whole movie unfolds based on her just hating humans.
Yeah.
And it sets up her later on kind of going back on that and accepting Spider. Like I said, I didn't love the way that specifically happened, but the setup was good. Yeah. I like that line.
Thank you. Next one we have is our sixth man, aka our Peyton Pritchard Award, which is an award we give out to someone that showed out in their small role in the movie. Could be anyone that's basically not one of the main characters, but I'm curious to hear who got your sixth man.
I gave it to Dr. Garvin, who is the marine biologist. The one that, I mean, for one, he's the guy opposing them, hunting the Tulkun, the whales. He's a good guy, one of the few good humans. He should get a Na'vi body. He's earned it.
Yeah, no, true.
He's earned a Na'vi body.
Maybe he will.
Yeah, I mean, we found out that there's like an outpost or like a group up in the mountains somewhere that are living with some of the Na'vi people. Like,
yeah, true.
That kind of just happened. That was a weird one, but I mean, he saves Jake with the bulldozer, and he has a great line where, because he says, "No, we can't kill all these things," and she's like, the general is like, "Your protest is noted," and then they just keep going. He's like, "Okay, yes, whatever." So then he saves Jake with the bulldozer. And he says, "My protest noted now, fuckers."
Yeah, that was good.
Hell yeah! Instant six man. Wrote his name down immediately.
That's good. I did think about giving him a six man. But I was trying to find like that moment. I was like, well, what's gonna be my reason besides him just like I liked his arc of them helping him out and just being different. He was kind of like that in the second movie too. Like we got a little bit of that. But yeah, that specific thing of like the protest bill payoff was good. So yeah. I like that six man. I ended up giving my six man to Lyle Mainfleet. So that's like the colonel's like right hand man that's kind of with him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's more of like a vibe thing because like I just found this character funny with having to deal with the colonel's just nonsense. You know what I mean? Especially because like this guy is like, I guess he's not a clone. He's just he's not a clone, right?
I actually don't know.
I actually forget. Like he didn't. Did he die too? And he's also a clone. I don't remember, but. To me, it's just like he had to deal with like every time it's the colonel and him and they're doing their job where she's like, oh, okay, we got Jake, let's go. And he's like, oh, undo me and we can save Jake. And he's just like, save Spider. And he's like, no, man, like we got him, let's go. And he's like, all right, okay, let's do it. And then even when they go to the Fire and Ash tribe and he's like, okay, like you're my sniper, so like shoot this guy, boom, to show like we mean business. And then he's like, follow him, and then he just like goes into the tarp with. He's like, yo, what are you doing? Like, no, this isn't part of the plan. And to me, it's just funny. It's like this guy's just trying to do his 9 to 5, and the colonel. It just brought me back to like you just working and like, dude, let's just do the job. It's like, no, but let's do this thing. And you're just like, dog. And there was a couple. Those are just named 2 of them. I think there was like a couple more in those moments where you're just like, what are we doing, man? Like the job is done. Like what? he just keeps going further with it, and he's just like, I'm just doing my 9 to 5, man. This guy, this stupid.
I'm just
clone.
trying to cash my check and go home. But like this guy's just messing everything up for me. That's what he's alive too, I think, eh?
I think so.
I mean, he's less important to the story.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, like you're saying, he kind of just does whatever Corge tells him to do, but like he kind of like snuck in and out a little bit.
Yeah, he's been in all 3 movies.
Yeah. Is he?
He's just, yeah, I'm pretty sure. He's definitely in the second one. I'm pretty.
Yeah, he's definitely.
You saw the first one more recently. I thought he was in the first one.
I mean, the first one he might be, but like all the
as a human,
pretty much all the human like soldiers other than Quaritch are just like soldiers. Like they don't really. There's no named. People. So he might be in there just like as one of the soldiers, but he's not that important. I mean, like we said, he's not even that important in this one. He's just kind of like, stop doing this, man. And Quaritch just keep going. That was crazy though. When he's like, "Hey, shoot that guy," and just killed him.
Yeah.
And then Varang's just like, "Oh, she's impressed. Like you just murdered one of her clan members."
Yeah, she's just like, nice trick as she touches the little thing. But like not even just like a warning shot. Like, I'm gonna shoot the ground right there, and then I'm gonna shoot your dude. Just let's take your dude out. What if that was her homie? You know, it's like
well, then it's good to get him out of the way so Quaritch can slide in.
Yeah, I guess so. That is a good point.
Maybe that was the plan the whole time.
Maybe that was the plan the whole. Maybe he knew that's how he got in. He's like, I know that's your boo. He's done.
Take him out.
But there's one last thing before I ask the next award. On that same note of like talking about how the guy just doing his 9 to 5, there's a little part of me, especially like in the underwater scenes, where I was just like kind of looking at some of these guys get taken out by like these squids and all that stuff. I'm just like, man, these guys are just doing a job, man. It's like being a lackey. It's like being a villain for like the Joker or something, and Batman's just like utterly just destroying all your limbs. It's just like, dog, you just broke all my body parts and you just didn't kill me. It's just like,
I think these squid are killing these guys though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I think that what you always have to remember, because you're right, like you're in this massive battle, you're seeing flying pterodactyls with 7-foot people, and there's killer squid and a metal vortex. Like there's all this insane stuff, and they're just like, yep, full steam ahead, let's go do it. I think you have to be remembering that these guys are getting paid very handsomely.
Yeah,
like
100%.
You know, they take out the whale and that one vial of juice that stops aging or whatever it is. They say it in the second. I don't remember how much, but it sells for like $10 billion or something.
Yeah,
so like
it's insane.
They're getting paid.
Yeah,
they're getting paid
pretty
true. Well.
Yeah, you'd hope for what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
But the next award we have is favorite scene. So, what was your favorite scene from the movie?
I gave it to the first, the flying fight scene at the start. I mentioned like the visuals and the scale of the caravan are stunning. This is what I expect from these movies. This is what I'm hoping to get from these movies. And we get some new stuff like the big flying creatures that are pulling this. We haven't seen that before. I don't know what those are. The kamikaze suicide bomber, that was crazy. And I was like, okay, these people are radical. Let's learn like why they're like this. Didn't end up getting that, but like the setup was great. It sets up just an aggressive and evil Na'vi tribe that I was so excited to learn more about. And the fight was good. Like, I love to see a good fight of just flying Ekrons, bow and arrows, a flying caravan pulling stuff down. It was just great, and the scale is just insane. Like everything just looks massive. We zoom out, we see these massive blimps and the huge creature that's flying them and flying mountains, and like the world that they've created here is just so sick and on full display in this scene.
Yeah, no, it's a great scene. I 100% agree, and I almost wanted to like change my my scene after, because like it wasn't like I forgot about it, but I was like, there's a couple aspects like scenes I liked for different reasons. I was kind of balancing them out, but I'm not gonna change my scene. I still, but I do think that's a really great scene. It's very memorable. Definitely, like in terms of moments, it's definitely a moment to remember from the when you step away from this movie like months from now.
Yeah, something I'm gonna remember. I mean, we even get to see Spider kick a little ass. We get to see Loak do some damage. It's just a good fight.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. My favorite scene, and it's the almost killing Spider scene, and it's
that was my next one probably.
Yeah, and I just liked like there was the elements of it, like we talked about the elements that we didn't like about it, and like what they could have done. It wasn't definitely because like I thought that he was gonna do it. Like I was like hesitant. I was leaning more like he's probably not gonna do it. A very small chance of like maybe he does do it, but I was just curious. I like the way they handled it too. How like they had like the sound of him like doing like a stab in. You're like, whoa, what? Like did
Off
he actually?
screen.
Yeah, and I was like, did he just like stab him on the side? Like what actually did he hit? He didn't connect to anything. They just made the sound to get us. But I thought it was interesting the way he handled it, and I was just intrigued on the way they were going to handle the scene because I was already in the mindset of like they're probably not going to kill him, but I want to see how this scene gets handled. And yeah, it intrigued me and it stuck with me. And again, I think it's like as we were again talking about moments, I think it's something I'll remember like months from now when they're like, oh, have you seen the Avatar movie? And I'm thinking about it. That will be like in the Rolodex of things I remembered from it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great scene. I thought they built the tension really well. And even though I didn't think they were going to do it, you're right. There was a small part of me that was like, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't think so, but maybe. And like I mentioned, I made that whole point of like, I want them to.
Yeah.
I really hope that they do. But like the way that they really take their time, like walking through deeper and deeper into the forest, because
they built it.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to go further and further into the forest? There's nobody here.
Yeah.
So, but it just leaves more time for us to like sit in it and wonder, is he going to do it? And keep cutting back to Neytiri, and you're wondering what she's going to do. And then like Spider slowly realizing, but not fighting it. I mean, what's he going to do? Like, Jake's in a Na'vi body and a full grown man. What is he going to do? But like, and even just a question, like, do you still love me? Like, I understand, like he understands why you have to do this, because if the humans get a hold of him, then they can maybe learn how to breathe their air, and then that gives them a big advantage in this fight. But I'm still like your son, kind of. So like I'm part of this family. It was a great moment.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot of emotion. And that's a good point that you added too about like the buildup. And I assume the buildup is one for two reasons, just to have us like really like think about it. Like, can he really do this? Like, well, like you turn to the person beside you, like, you think he's gonna do it? You think like it builds up the time for you to like to turn to the person, like, you think he's really gonna do it? And then also like building the distance from her, and which wasn't the case. Like she wouldn't have made it on time anyway. Where it's like now they've made enough distance that if she's like, no, wait, Jake, you can't do it, and then she wouldn't make it in time because it's not like they were just around the corner.
Right.
She could scream, but like it still wouldn't be enough time. So I think the way they handled that was well done.
Yeah, totally agree.
Last but certainly not least is the MVP. So who gets your MVP? For
my MVP goes to Weta FX, which is the visual effects and computer animation company that worked on this movie. I mean, these movies are just a massive undertaking of visual effects and computer animation, performance capture, all of this stuff. I expect great visuals, but they still found a way to like wow me.
Yeah.
Like in the first one, I mean, the first one's the first one you just heard going into it, like, wow, it looks great. You got to go see it. And like the way the ground lights up when they take a step, and seeing the big tree with Eywa and all that stuff was great. All the water stuff in the second one was better than we've ever seen. Ever, really. So for this one, like, I came in with high expectations and they still killed them. They still crushed it. Like the Neytiri flying around the RDA base, blowing stuff up, just looks sick. She's weaving through like pipes and wires and stuff and blowing stuff up. When they go into Eywa, and then we see they're fighting through, like they're blowing them away and they're fighting through it. And then we see just a massive head of a woman from the side that like slowly turns. When the Tulkun meet and they come out of the water, and like the ripples of the water, like all this stuff was just like, I'm sitting in my chair. I'm like, this just looks perfect. It's incredible. The scale, the visual, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And it's one of those things that like we talked about, the reasons like a movie gets hate and the reasons why you can appreciate these movies. And another thing I too think can elevate your experience is even pre or post watching the movie, is just watch it behind the scenes. Look at all that goes into it. Like you don't have to watch like this crazy long video, but like there's some short clips out there of just seeing like how they capture, and then realizing that like all that stuff you saw was like certain things you'd be like, but even sometimes the water is fake. And you just assume like, oh, I thought they were like in a tank or something, and they were just like, no, like that water they're creating is fake. And you just like appreciate like the water driplets like coming off their face and just like the sweat and all these little subtle things that are like these tiny things that of detail that you don't really have to do, but it just makes it feel so realistic where it's like, oh yeah, that looks like skin, or these little imperfections, these little bumps, where it's just like, man, like that's someone like painstakingly going at work. And we talked about this like even like with certain movies like Transformers, like we went on that in our Transformers episode. It's just like to see like how much like time it takes for people just to go through all that stuff is just impressive. And
Yeah.
with James Cameron, with especially because like what we can do with CGI and stuff like that, his dedication to still trying to get the actual performances out of the people. You know what I mean? Like if they wanted to, they could create all the faces, they could create the smiles and the all these things. But like the fact that they get them like, no, make the fake, do the hiss. We're gonna try to capture everything that you're doing with your face. Versus like other people, like other movies and stuff like that, just like this is a CGI blob where it's just like we're just gonna get them to do like you're not looking at anything. Like imagine this thing's here. Like go watch like everything that they're looking at. They've created some kind of structure for them to play off. Obviously, where they are, they have to imagine, but like there's so much actual movement and actually going underwater for like 6 minutes and stuff like that. Like people have like there's so many people on the couch like, oh, how long have you held underwater? Like, oh, I can do like 5 minutes. I can do 6 minutes. Like they did intense training. It's like some Tom Cruise shit of like actually doing as much as they can do to get the best out of these performances. And it's just crazy.
Yeah, they're building like ecrons that they can stand on so they can get in like their warrior pose and shoot arrows. And I mean, just to be even just like knowing the scope of work of all of that stuff is just like ridiculously insane. It's got to be some of the biggest production value thing ever.
Oh, 100%.
And just all the work that goes into that. And like this movie, I didn't love like the world building and stuff, so I couldn't give it to James Cameron. The performances, they're tough because it's motion capture. So like you're right, like they are still acting and they have the dots on their face and like they translate that into the characters, but it's still it's not exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's tough to, and there wasn't anything that like super stood out to me, but like the effects are just phenomenal.
100%. And I didn't end up giving it to James Cameron either because the same kind of thing where it's like there was elements that do involve him that I didn't love about it. So I ended up giving it to the Colonel. The Colonel's character, and like every time, like I said it earlier too, every time he was on screen, like I felt like I was entertained. Like he was a lot funnier in this movie than, and going back to the drug scene too, when like he gets hit, he's like, damn, that's some strong shit. Like just like the whole dynamic with her too, and he just like, I saw someone online say like the Colonel like in this movie kind of turned into like an angsty teen, like kind of discovering himself. He's like, he got this opportunity. He's like, yo, like I just met a baddie for the first time or whatever it is. I'm like, she's into this fire stuff. I guess I'm into this fire stuff. And then when he pulled up in the paint, it just made me laugh. I'm like, this is such like a dude that's like having his first girlfriend.
Trying to impress a girl.
Yeah. And I was like, this guy's lost his mind, yo. He's just falling. He's fallen in love, and he's just it's just hilarious to see him go with that transformation. And as much as he was funny, he was just unpredictable. Like I never knew. And even though the one part too, I almost forgot about this part that made me laugh a lot. When there's like near the final battle part, and he's about to fall, and like Jake saves him, and then they pull him up, and they're kind of sitting there. He's like, "Well, this is awkward."
Yeah, yeah. What do we do now?
Yeah. So what do we do? Like I'm mad that he actually said it like that. That's what we're thinking, but he said it's just like, we're trying to kill each other for like 3 movies now. Like, you just saved me. I saved my son. We both like him. Like, what is this relationship? It's like he's saying what we're all thinking. Like, what is this now? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. That is a funny moment. It kind of like, I didn't love it though, just because I'm like what actually? He's right. Like, what is this? Like, what are we? Why are you guys fighting? Yeah. Why are you fighting right now? You already captured him once, and you gave him to the humans. And they were gonna kill him. So like, do you just want him to die? Because I feel like you had so many opportunities to kill him, and you're not doing it because you want him to be able to protect Spider. So then, why are you even bothering to fight him if you don't want? Like, I don't know why they're even doing this, but it does make for a funny moment when he actually says it out loud because you don't expect that to happen.
No, exactly. To me, to go to your point, I think he wants him to die, but he wants to do it the right way. Like, because there's been, like you said, there's so many opportunities where he could just popped him. Like, I got you. I could just kill you right now, and then I could bring you back as the dead body. But he's like, I want people to know that I brought you back, and this execution that was happening is because of me. I want everyone to see it. That's what it feels like. He's like, I'm not just gonna kill you here and then bring you back, and then like, oh, guy, I got him. Here's the dead body, kind of thing. He wants that glory of being like, Colonel, he's the guy. He brought Jake in because we got a little bit of that. Like, everyone was like, we finally got him. Like, that's crazy. Like, this is the guy. Like, we got Jake. So like, he wants that. I think he wants the whole show.
So, but he got that.
But then he didn't actually die. He escaped.
Yeah.
So it's still, it was cheapened. So he's like, no. We're gonna, like, I still got to bring you in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And I like your MVP. Quaritch is, I mean, you made a lot of good points, and we talked about in the deep dive just how important he is to this story and how much value he adds to this movie specifically. Because I think in the first one, he's kind of like just your generic bad guy, just like, I got to get the job done, and I don't care about the indigenous people. I got it. They're the enemy, so I got to kill them. And he doesn't understand like the nuance of the way that they live and what they believe and all this stuff. But in this one, like, there's a lot of nuance to his character where he is becoming part of them. And like I mentioned, I really like the aspect of Jake trying to get him to see that and kind of understand the nuance of like, you can't just come in with your guns and take whatever you want. Like, these are real people and real culture and a real way of life. And I like the way he wrestles with that, and he has different motivations pulling him in different ways. Like, he just makes for a lot of entertainment when he's on screen.
Yeah, and thank you. And I'm curious to see how they go with him going forward. But overall,
he's not dead.
Yeah, exactly. He's not dead. Overall, I think my main takeaway is that a lot of stuff could have been shaved off from the movie, and I think it could have been better. Because I think the main thing of like, we didn't get enough of the fire and ash is because they gave us so much of the other stuff. But if we shaved off all that stuff, then I think there could have been enough intrigue where it's like, okay, man, I can't wait to see them again. So we get more of them. Because it just felt very, very much like, and Jamari said this, he's like, it felt like I watched Avatar Way of Water Part 2.
Yeah. You watched Way of Water again is what you watch.
The director's cut.
Yeah, basically. Because so that's interesting. So would you, if I gave you the chance, you could have the movie the same length, but you take away some of like the water tribe and some of that stuff that we've seen, again, Loic and the whales, and you get more fire and ash people, or just like cut that out, keep it shorter, and then leave intrigue for future movies?
I think shave off. Yeah, like, okay. I don't know about keeping like, because I guess technically, because I don't know if it was the same runtime, and I don't know what that would be if then suddenly we incorporate those other things. But based off what I liked about the movie, I'm like, I'm just imagining like, let me shave off the parts I didn't like less of the whale stuff, less of the Way of Water people. We already got all them. Like let's just get the new stuff because this is a new movie. So I don't want to relapse the stuff. Like, and it hasn't been that long where we forget. You could have done that stuff maybe with Avatar, but like, yeah, it's been like 14 years. I don't remember, but it's like, this movie just came out like 2 years ago, and obviously like, we're doing a podcast, so like, I refreshed myself with kind of what happened with it even before going in. I'm like, I feel like I'm watching this again. Okay, interesting. We're just like we're going through this stuff again, which I think a lot of that stuff could have been shaved, and then maybe I would have been a different experience.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
What about you? Any final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to the fourth.
Okay.
I say that, like, I didn't love this one, but is it going to take place on a different planet? That's what I had heard. Yeah. I don't want to say I hope it doesn't, just because I want to know more about this Fire Clan. Yeah. And if they then have to like pack up and move to another planet, that just doesn't make, I don't know how that's going to work. Mm-hmm. But I love this world so much that I want to come back.
Yeah, same. 100% agree.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for listening. We got a couple certifieds on the board.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys for listening. Be sure to check out our socials. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Reddit at The Film Room Pod. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Film Room Podcast. Check us out. If you want to be part of the family meeting, throw us in the comments, answer to our stories, Reddit posts, anything. If you leave a review, we will get shout out on the podcast guaranteed. 5 stars only. I'm pretty sure on our page anyways, when you go to leave a review, that everything else is disabled, so you can only pick 5 stars.
Yeah, so. I think so. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. We appreciate you for tuning in. We will see you next week. Dion, take it away and end us off.
And remember that anybody can join the Film Room podcast, like the Film Room family, I should say. It's open to everybody. The family's open to everybody. But remember, your goddess has no dominion here. Peace out.
Peace out.